needs to somehow change a little bit. And so I don't know really what Pump Fund's going to do with that. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn on my thoughts there. I'm curious what you guys think. I wish more people were online right now if the board of directors were buzzing, but I need to book a show about that, to be honest. I really need to book an episode about that. But that's kind of like the biggest question that I just have for Pump Fund. It's really just a meme coin thing in general. First off, how is Pump Fund making $1 million a day still? And then also, what happens to the platform if the trenches are kind of dead for a year or two? We're still going to have people launching meme coins. Like, that's never going to stop. I think it's evident right now. Like, no one's made money in meme coins in almost 6 months. People are still launching 15,000 coins. Like it seems like every single day. So I don't know. That's the one thing I'm torn on. Now, outside of that, right? Like, that's one thing happening in the market is I think the Pump Fund setup is still really interesting for that reason. It's polarizing. I think the streaming side, even though none of it is quite bullish right now, or like there's not a lot of activity, we still haven't seen any like big streamers super breakout. I think Gainsey's stream does amazing. Outside of that, I think you still see a lot of gimmicks. It just seems like, they need to somehow figure out discovery. They need to somehow figure out like an algorithm. Like, it's still missing a lot of parts. And no token is really broken out of that, like the ceiling that Bagworks set. It's still missing a lot of parts. But there's definitely data points pointing to that they're going to stay committed to it. They're going to shove insane amounts of money at it. They're cooking something up. And you have Tim Draper, Unchained. I'm going to keep doing stuff with it. Live shows every single week. God, I'm still just hustling to try to get a show this week. But so on that side, I'm bullish on Pump Fund. On the meme coin stuff, I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't know what the trenches need. But in their current state, like, who logs onto Pump Fund or to BSC and genuinely is buying? Like, unless you're like a meme coin influencer that just rinses people with copy traders, like, who logs on to Pump Fund right now, or even Binance Smart Chain, and honestly apes into new meme coins? Like, you're just getting like, even the super sharp meme coin traders are like, why are we doing this? Like, they joke that it's too hard for them to make money. So that's the one thing I just don't know. I just don't know. Outside of that, the market is in this spot where, and like talking to the smartest people I can find about this, like the podcast I did with CMS and with Split Capital, just trying to get their opinion on, like, guys, like, what is legitimately the best place to make money right now? Like, how the hell is the rest of the cycle going to go? What do we do? Seriously, what do we do? Is the market over? Are we cooked? Is there still going to be new trades? And they both said, obviously don't trade, just buy and hold some things you believe in. But they both mentioned like new launches are going to kind of be like the most interesting thing for the rest of the year. And I want to point out, do you guys see this launch? There's a tale of two launches right now. The crypto ICO season is definitely back. Like, new airdrops, new projects coming out are kind of exciting, actually. If you can get into a round, whether it's on Echo, whether it's on Meteora, like there's definitely new launches happening that are interesting, that are kind of exciting. But oh my God, are there some? It's a tale of two types of projects right now in crypto that are launching right now. This is one of the most insane things I've ever seen. So this is a new prediction market platform. It got super hype because this guy went viral for his beef with CZ and saying, I don't want to list on Binance. I don't want to pay the Binance fees. He goes super viral, gets a ton of support. For the first time ever, like, CZ loses some aura. I mean, I think Binance is in a super weird spot. I think there's a lot of, I don't know if you can say evidence. I think there's a lot of data points maybe pointing to Binance having a bigger role than was initially thought in the giant liquidation. And so there's definitely like there's a sentiment shift, a vibe shift happening on Binance for sure. And so he kind of like went at Binance about listing. Anyways, so this new prediction market launches, right? They launch a token. This happens 6 hours ago. Look at what they did when it launched. Bro, he comes out and says, tokens are a long-term game. The on-chain market-making systems are working as intended. Basically, he said, we sniped our own token and dumped on you. It's for the good of the project. Like, bro, you gotta log off. You gotta log off Twitter if you thought this was good to do. You gotta like. I actually think that he should maybe tweet that like that, you know, there needs to be a CTO. Like there almost needs to be a community takeover of a legit project. They almost just need to like kill the project and then build a new prediction market. Like what this dude just did to his own token and then said it was for the good of the token holders. This is what's interesting about new coin launches, right? So you have this on one side, and then at the same time, you have projects like Mega ETH, where there's legitimately some like insanely successful launches right now. I think that this thing just came out, Mega ETH. Let me pull up a chart. It's at like 6 billion FTV. And I think if you got in the round, it was at like 100 million. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. So the Mega ETH came out today. Their ICO is actually upcoming. It's going to be an auction. It'll definitely fill out. Regardless, it'll be like a 5 or a 6 or maybe even a 10x, depending on how this auction goes. Like there's just a lot of variables. But there are legitimately exciting projects coming out. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff built in the prediction market space, which is going to be exciting. I think there's still a lot of DeFi. There's a very serious return to projects that are building legit tech. And I think even if the market gets crushed here and Bitcoin is not exciting, you know, stocks are still like the only things doing well. Gold is going up. Altcoins are getting crushed. I still think we're in a phase right now where new launches that come out that are good launches are going to like, they're just going to keep printing. And so you have like this weird, thing going on in crypto, right? And it's being caused by now projects are allowed to basically just do ICOs again. And this is like the first time at this scale that this is happening since, I don't know, 7 years, like 2018, 2017, like almost 100% of your time spent was basically time spent on researching ICOs, trying to get in the best rounds, trying to get in private rounds, trying to get in public sales, and just buying any ICO that looked good and then selling when it hit the market. Obviously, that model just got destroyed in the next couple of years. That's just what we do in crypto. Any meta that's good for a little bit, we just destroy it. It becomes so extractive, and then it's not good. And then we figure out a better way to do it. And right now in crypto, you have like ICOs are possible again because of the current regulatory market. And it's going to be like this for 4 years. It's a combination of things, right? Regulatory is friendly again, so we can do ICOs, we can do all these types of raises. You could do it through Echo, through Sonar. Coinbase is clearly investing in it. We have ICM. We have a lot of new ways to launch kind of exciting projects. That's one part of it. The second part is because meme coins, people are trying to move on from that. And so like it's a return to people building legit tech, legit new app chains, new apps, anything prediction market, anything privacy. DeFi projects are even interesting again. And so like those two combined, right? Regulatory is friendly for the first time in like, I don't know, seven or 8 years, you can do ICOs again. And there's legit platforms that are letting people airdrop all that. And then on the other side, it's like our industry is moving towards just more legit projects again and way less focus on meme coins. And what's happening is we have some very good projects coming out. Like, even though Plasma has done nothing and it's just traded straight down, for the people that got into that ICO, it's like a 300x. And for the people that get into this mega ICO, it's going to be like a 5, 10, who the hell knows? 5, 10x, right? So you have like, the new project meta is probably going to be like the only interesting thing to do if the markets keep nuking. And I just wanted to cover this. Like, there's a very clear difference, though. I don't even know if it's so much on the quality of the projects launching. I think a lot of it is just going to come down to how the projects launch, like which platforms they choose to launch from, whether they launch on Solana or ETH, whether they start trading on Hyperliquid first, whether it's a Binance Smart Chain project. Like, I think that is probably the most important factor in a weird way, is like how these things are launching. If they launch